This is the Insulinterview series. Insulinterview. 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 This is the Insulinterview series, where I put food and fitness to one side for a second and talk more about diabetes and daily life, sharing personal experiences, the good, the bad, the ugly, about life with a chronic condition. Maybe you can relate. Maybe you've had a similar experience yourself. Or maybe you can just learn from my mistakes. This episode is called The Ski Trip. This was about 5 years ago. I was in my mid-20s, about 5 years after my diagnosis, and I just started taking the two types of insulin, basal and bolus, long-acting and short-acting. I went on a ski trip with a few mates and completely miscalculated the amount of short-acting bolus insulin that I had to take with me, and I ran out halfway through the week. I didn't want to be a burden to the group and get in the way of any precious daily time on the slopes. So I just waved it off and thought that maybe a double dose of basal, or long-acting insulin, would be enough to see me through. It was not. I felt okay for about a day. Before then I started to feel very, very unwell. It could have been a combination of things. Maybe a slight hangover, the thin mountain air, or, oh yeah, the fact that, of course, my blood sugar was extremely high. There was no other option but to head into town and try and find a pharmacy which stocked the insulin that I needed. There was just one problem. At that particular moment, I was on top of a mountain, and very much a beginner, and really not feeling too great. An hour and a half later, involving me sliding down most of that mountain on my backside, in tears and close to vomiting, I was in a little French pharmacy trying to explain with my little French knowledge what I needed. Je suis diabetic. In fairness, to their credit, they sorted me out instantly. Merci. I missed 4 hours on the slopes that day, and my friends had to wait an extra hour for me at the meeting point because there was no other way of finding them. So much for not being a burden, right? Pack, prepare, prevent.